Hey guys, this is Faye, and I run and own this channel for my mom, whose name is Xiang Li. And we started this channel to help artists of any age, any background, ethnicity, and we're here to thrive together. So I hope you like this series. And in this playlist, we're here to talk about these beautiful silk portraits by my mom, Li. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Make sure you hit subscribe and tell your friends about it too. Today we're going to talk about the first of this series of paintings my mom has created. And this one is for Dr. B.J. Miller. He is a palliative care doctor. In fact, he's very known in the field of palliative care, and he started his company called Mental Health in August 2020. The origin story the public knows about BJ is that when he was 19 years old, he was studying at Princeton, and one night he and his friends climbed up a parked train, and he had a metal watch on his left wrist, and the electricity just went through his entire body. As a result, he lost his left arm below the elbow and both of his legs below the knees. But after that, he went to medical school, he became a doctor, and many years later, I met him at Mass General Hospital, where he was giving a speech on life, end of life, and as well as how we can live our life in more meaningful ways. So my mom painted this, and I just thought it was so incredible because my mom, Lee, still has never really met BJ, yet she's able to create something so extraordinary. And I'm gonna have a little bit cheat sheet here, and I'll include a link of this artwork and all the explanation in a link we created on xiangliart.com. And you can look at this painting section by section. Also, I will mention that thanks to my content manager, Anna, who's creating all these time-lapse pictures and all these extraordinary little clips on Xiang Li's TikTok as well. So if you want to explore, definitely check it out there. But first, I want to talk about the general concept of how this came about. My mom first, as an artist, watched the TED Talk, which received over 12 million views. So she was watching and sort of the outfits and really get a sense of who BJ is as a person. And she has to feel inspired before she paints someone. It can't just be commission work. And by the way, this is not commission work for obvious reasons. It's sitting in my office. This is actually part of the Phase World documentary collection. People I have interviewed on my podcast or people I have interviewed on my documentary. So this obviously is a very large painting. I would say it's probably the largest out of this collection. These are some of the ideas my mom Xiang had, and there's also a poem written by James True. I'll give him a shout out, and the poem is in Chinese. But all right, let's take a look at this painting. First, one of the most important parts is actually the book that BJ has written with his co-author. It's called The Beginner's Guide to the End. The book he wrote bears a holy jade lotus flower. There's a beautiful rose of love on the book, which represents the noble spirit and the selfless dedication of great love. And it's a really good representation of him. So that's this book right here in this corner. As you can see, there are roses on the book. Everything's very symbolic. I pulled just a little bit on this painting to show you guys that it's done on 100% silk. Literally the silk as in the cloth or the clothing that we wear. And obviously silk comes in different grades. And when it comes to painting, you do need something that's really well knitted, really good quality so that it can actually sustain with this painting. And I just love how flowy it is. I mean, alternatively, my mom could have put glue on the side and make it really flat up against the wall, but sometimes it's not always necessary. We do have a couple of paintings in the hallway, and because people walk by a lot, and so we do put a little bit of glue so it doesn't keep just flowing around. So next, let's talk about the phoenix. The phoenix is very symbolic in Chinese culture. So it's the king of birds. In the sky, the phoenix brought him a path of good fortune. So we tend to talk about fortune, luck, prosperity, health. So these are very symbolic elements or really important elements and symbols in general in Chinese culture. We tend to incorporate that in Chinese paintings. Now let's talk about the little dove right here. Dove of peace is the most beautiful symbol. Li believes that we should live in a very peaceful world and we should have very nurtured, very loving relationship with one another. Perhaps this is what a lot of little girls or little boys will like, the unicorn. And I love the transition, as you can see, even though the unicorn is mostly white, but you do have these golden and yellow highlights and make the unicorn come alive. So the unicorn spreads its wings, ready to take him on a wanderlust. So it's really kind of this extraordinary feeling. BJ has traveled around the world for his work, for palliative care, and this is kind of symbolic but also yet realistic that he's bringing his voice, his stories, and his work, his profession worldwide. So a lot of my friends also like this section right here. These are the two fairies and playing instruments, giving BJ the flowers. So in the universe of sea, mountains, and rivers, fairies sprinkle flowers and play the most wonderful music. Now let's get down to this main area here. So we have the tiger, the lion, so the kings of the animals, lion and tiger walking alongside him and listening to his teaching. This is very adorable. I will comment, even though the one thing we didn't really talk about as much is BJ the character, as obviously the main character of this painting. What I love, personally love, and my mom Lee realized is when you paint on silk, especially the clothing pieces, becomes really elegant. And the reason is actually BJ quite cares about what he wears, and when I met him in person, that's like the first thing I noticed is everything fits really well, everything's very nice. You can see, when you wear like a silk shirt or cashmere, something like that, it really comes through. The material, the texture looks especially almost realistic or interesting on a silk canvas or on a silk cloth. Right here, this is actually BJ's dog, and her name is Maisie. Yeah, Maisie. So his loyal dog is always by his side, and it's also very, very true. Lastly, very symbolic, at the bottom of the painting is an eagle. So this eagle is floating in beautiful, colorful clouds, and the sea under the clouds is roaring. The kind of realism in real life, in this turbulent life, a brave eagle not afraid of the stormy sea, bravely fighting. So to conclude, this painting really is about all of us. Even though it's dedicated to BJ for obvious reasons, but I think his life and this character represents all of us. This has been a very turbulent time of our lives, so I think it's a reminder that we should come together and we all have to be brave no matter what. And I hope you have some inspirations from this painting. It's just me talking, by the way, guys. I would love to hear what you think of this painting. Maybe how this represents you, your life, or someone you know. Do you like animals? Do you like nature? And that is something really profound. And BJ talks about it all the time, that he seeks comfort from nature. And so this entire painting is dedicated for him, but also I want to just dedicate it to all of you who are watching this right now. Thank you. Hit subscribe. If you like this, let us know. If there's something else you would love to see, any techniques you want us to kind of go into details, definitely give us a shout, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.